So, you're ready to create an Etsy shop to sell posters. Luckily for you, Etsy is a wonderful platform to sell on, and in this video I will take you through everything you need to know about setting up, what kind of fees you can expect, the things you can do to make your shop more attractive to customers, and also how Etsy can help you. Etsy is a wonderful platform and I will take you through all the need to know knowledge in this video. Now, you might have previously been spammed with adverts for Shopify and things like that, but I promise you Etsy is actually the best place to sell posters. Trust me on this, Etsy is wonderful because it's already a marketplace with customers looking to buy things, so therefore any sales are not cold sales. With Shopify, you are your marketing CEO. You have to do every form of marketing to bring customers to your shop. With Etsy, this is not the case, and you're already selling to people already in the market for posters. Etsy has a huge wall art section. People know it, trust me, mums know it. They know to go to Etsy to buy posters, and there are so many people buying posters because at the end of the day, every house needs a poster. Just jumping in here with a quick bit of info, and no, it's not a sponsorship or advert. We have all of this information on our school community if you're watching this on YouTube, which I highly recommend checking out because it is a place where you can interact with other people on a similar poster journey. You can ask any questions you have. We will be doing weekly drop-in calls and things of the like. It is really the place to maximize your knowledge with posters. And like I said, all of these videos on there and more, go check it out. The link is in the description and I'll also put it on the video right here. What are the costs with Etsy then? So when you first set up your account, you'll be hit with a £15 shop setup fee. This is the only proper upfront cost to starting an Etsy shop, and it's well worth the money. It used to be free in the past, but it is now £15. The only other upfront cost that you will pay using Etsy is a 20-cent listing fee. This is every time you post a poster or new product, you will get charged 20 cents. So when you first start, link your bank account, have a bit of cash in there to pay just for your initial products that you list, and then you'll find that as soon as you start getting sales, the money from your sales will pay for these listing fees and all the other fees that you get and things like that. As with any online platform, there is of course also transaction fees, so Etsy can generate money to provide the marketplace. However, these come out of the revenue that you receive for your sales, so you will never notice it really leave your account, to be honest. Etsy just takes it out of your money and then pays you a bit less. There are a few different kind of fees that Etsy can charge, like transaction fees, processing fees, and also some extra ones like you can see here. As you can see here, this shop did a revenue of £34,700 and ended up paying just under £6,000 in fees. So that is about 16%, and this is what you can normally expect all of your fees on Etsy to work out to. Not too bad, to be honest. Etsy needs to charge to provide the service, so when it comes to your profit, you can expect to lose about 15% in fees and stuff, but I never think about it, to be honest, because it comes out of the money that Etsy holds for you on their platform. You never see it and get it taken away, so it's just an operating expense really, so don't let the fees and stuff bog you down. It's very normal to end up paying 10-15% on any platform, and as you can see, the profit potential is clearly there. Another great thing about Etsy is that you are actually protected for a lot of sales. If anything ever goes wrong, for example, and the customer is giving you a really hard time, but it is not your fault whatsoever, Etsy will often step in and refund the customer without you losing any money. This is on sales up to $250, and it's, for instance, sometimes you get a customer where you will literally give them their tracking number, it will say delivered, the customer will be like, no, I've not received it, even though they clearly have, and demand a refund. This is not your responsibility to refund. Let them open the case with Etsy, and Etsy will, in 99.99999% of cases, take your side, issue a refund to the buyer just to keep them happy, but you will not lose any money. So that's another great reason to sell on Etsy. They are actually very good at things like this and do often take their sellers' sides. So before actually making an Etsy account, I would come up with a shop name, and this isn't too important in terms of pulling in sales, I would say. However, I would put a decent amount of time and thought into it because you want to be happy with it, you don't want to regret it further down the line, and at the end of the day, it's what your branding will be based around, and you know, this shop is your baby, so you want to call it something that you are a fan of. If you take a look at what other people call their shops, you'll clearly work out that it doesn't really matter too much. A lot of them are random words and things of the like, but again, as long as you like what it sounds like, then that works well. I would say maybe at the start, don't pick a name that kind of boxes you into one niche too much, just in case you change your mind around what you're selling further down the line. For example, if you create an Etsy account called Amazing Food Posters, and then a week later you're like, oh, I don't really want to sell posters of food anymore, then you're a bit trapped. So maybe come up with something a bit more generic just as you start out to give yourself a little bit of wiggle room. I would recommend checking that the name is available before you create your shop. You can literally search Etsy shop name checker, and then there'll be websites like that to verify it for you. And then what I would do is first create a Gmail account under this shop brand name. This is because then you don't muddle in your Etsy stuff with your personal email. You can keep it all separate and nice and organized, and then you can actually create an Etsy account by signing in with Gmail once you've done that, which I quite like to do just to keep them linked together, but do whatever works for you. So you first need to create a regular, just customer Etsy account, and then once you've done that and signed up, if you click at the top, there will be an option saying sell on Etsy. This is when you then click through to actually make a Etsy sellers account, which is obviously where your shop will be based. It's very nice and easy. I won't hold your hand through this process. Literally just answer their questions honestly and make sure you do it in your identity, and Bob's your uncle. It's really easy as that. The only question you might be unsure about when signing up is whether to be a sole trader or a private limited company. I think for 99% of you watching this video, you will want to register as a sole trader. This is just basically meaning you're self-employed. So obviously now you are going to be making money online. You will eventually have to pay taxes. This normally comes in April at the end of the tax year, but you do have a bit of, you know, a year or two wiggle room after setting up. Basically, a sole trader, it's a lot easier for account purposes. It just means that you declare your revenue and then what you expended out at the end of the tax year. You can also set up as a private limited company. This does involve more setup. You actually have to create a company with the UK government and that kind of thing. Do your own research on this, just figure out what works best for you. But I would say in 99% of cases, you would probably be better off being a sole trader for something like this. But at the end of the day, it is your decision. And once you do choose this, there is no way to change it after setting up your Etsy account. So just have a quick look online, pick what is best for you. I can't advise based on everyone's personal situation. So just have a look for yourselves. So there's a few things before actually uploading products that I think you should get nailed down with your Etsy shop. The main ones are your banner and your logo. Now, you are now officially a graphic designer if you watched the last video, so this should not be too much of a challenge, and if anything, it's a good way to practice your design. I would not overcomplicate these, especially the logo. It's actually really not too important. To be honest, if you want to, pick a nice color, just write out your shop name in text, and that's kind of all you need to do. I would say your banner is actually more important because this takes up more of your customer's eye space when they click onto your shop, and you can customize this in any way you want. What I personally do on my shops is showcase 3 to 5 posters of different kind of prints that I have on my shop, just to give a wide overview of what I kind of sell. And then I like to list out information like the important stuff, like worldwide quick shipping, free shipping worldwide, premium poster paper, just some really quick bullet point things that a customer will scan through and be like, okay, yeah, this all sounds good, you know, 5-star guarantee, things like that. Just communicate the main benefits of your shop, which if you are using Printship will be free worldwide shipping and fast domestic worldwide shipping especially, and also really high quality poster paper. So use this as an opportunity to just communicate these things to your customer and just instantly tick some boxes and reassure them throughout buying a product from your shop. There are also some other things you can fill out, which is definitely less important, but honestly, my main tip is just to maximize everything that Etsy gives you the options to customize. You really might as well fill it up as much as possible. One of these things is announcement. This is where you can announce things like any sales that you run, you can offer discounts when people buy multiple posters, so you can mention that there. This is also good for times like Christmas, when you need to communicate to customers like your last guaranteed Christmas delivery dates and things like that. Just communicate important information in the announcements bit. There's also the option to fill out an about section. Here, I would genuinely just tell your honest story. Just be like, I'm a passionate designer. Well, this might not be your honest story, but, you know, sell a bit of a dream about who you are, that you're a very passionate designer and that you really take great pride in selling your art to people and seeing them in people's homes is amazing. So sell some emotion, you know, use every field that Etsy gives you just to fill these things out. They just really tie your shop together, give it a bit of a, you know, finishing touch, and some customers do look through all of this information, so it's a great opportunity to really convince them on the sale. So again, with this, just have a search on Etsy at what other shops are doing, take some inspiration and then apply it to your own. This really is the key with Etsy. Just inspire yourself with other shops, because especially the bigger ones, because they clearly know what they're doing if they're raking in a lot of sales, and again, there's no reason why it can't be you within enough time. Now you've actually got your Etsy account set up, there are some important things you need to know about, like safeguarding and just making sure your account is very healthy. So the first thing I would recommend is not spamming uploading listings at the start. Etsy have really cracked down on banning people from selling on their platform recently for some reason. I don't know why they don't want customers, but one thing you can do is just not upload too many products at the start. I think Etsy automatically flags it as suspicious if you create a brand new account and then suddenly upload 100 posters in like a couple days out of nowhere. So I would say take it slow for the first week or two. Upload maybe 5 products a day for the first few days, then you can push it to 10, that kind of thing. Because if you already have a bank of products, I know it's very tempting just to get them uploaded as quickly as possible, but I would say slow it down a bit and just try and not flag any suspicious behavior. Also, just make sure you don't copy other people's listings. As I said at the start, it's very good to inspire, but do not copy, because these people could flag you and then you can get these listings taken down, and you only get so many strikes on your account before you will get banned. So just, you know, don't copy other people. Hopefully you won't want to do that anyway, because it's not very honest. Just inspire, but don't copy. Additionally, just make it obvious that this is a product that you have made yourselves. Etsy's whole selling point and ethos is that it's all handmade products by the individual. So you need to make it clear that it is something you have created yourself. Obviously, you will not do the whole printing and shipping part of it, but that's fine. That's in accordance with their guidelines. We'll go on to production partners in a second. But I would just add somewhere into your announcement or shop info that, you know, you've been designing for a while and you're really excited to get your products out there that you have made and that kind of thing. Just to kind of tick the box from Etsy's point of view. And also, I think customers like hearing that it is a handmade, homemade, made with love, made with care thing that might help you convert a sale. So I'd add something like that into your shop somewhere. One other thing is to keep your traffic and sales on Etsy, especially at the start. Etsy doesn't mind completely if you link a website in your bio or things like that, but what they do mind is when you are dealing with a customer and then you try and direct them off the website by asking for their email or something like that. This can flag up, as obviously Etsy wants to keep their traffic on Etsy so they can benefit from the transaction fees and stuff. So just be wary of this, especially at the start. Don't go asking for customer emails. Don't be sending loads and loads of links to direct them to buy your posters elsewhere. Keep it all in Etsy and you'll be golden. One other thing you need to do is declare a production partner. Of course, you are doing the designs yourself, so it is your product, but we at Printshrimp will be doing the printing and shipping and that kind of thing. So you do need to declare that to Etsy. So there's a few things when you set up your first listing which you need to tick. So it'll ask you who made it. You can say I did. What is it? It is a finished product. And when was it made? I always put made to order, because again, it's print on demand. It actually doesn't exist until it is ordered. How does your shop produce this item? I like to say it's made from scratch, because really it is. The design is made from scratch and then it's just put on paper and that kind of thing. You know, you could argue that there's another box you could tick, but I don't think Etsy cares too much about this. Now, what tools are used to make this item? Here you can see computerized tools or machines. Yes, I always give that a tick, because again, we are printing. And as you can see here, Etsy asks you to declare if you are using AI, for example, Midjourney, DALL-E, anything like that. Now, you really should tick this, to be honest. I haven't always on all of my shops, I will be completely upfront, but if you do tick this, then you are covered in case a customer ever complains, oh, this has come and it really looks like it's AI generated. Hopefully, it shouldn't be obvious that your images are AI generated. There are going to be sometimes some details that look a bit off, but try and spot that as you're making your images, and, you know, normally people won't be able to tell, but you should tick that just to be completely open and honest and to cover yourself. And now adding production partners, as you see here, Printshrimp is what you will need to add, because obviously we help you guys print and ship your orders. So just type in the name Printshrimp, show this production partner's names to buyers, feel free to if you want to, and then about production partner, I put something like this: all designs are made by me. We partner with Printshrimp to help print our posters, ensure the highest possible standard and ensure rapid worldwide shipping. For location, you can go for United Kingdom. And then why are you working with this partner? I don't have the technical ability or equipment to make it entirely by myself. Of course, you guys do not have multiple thousands of pounds worth of printers within your house, so you will need to partner with Printshrimp to print your orders. Role in the design process, I design everything myself, therefore we're ticking the box for the handmade, homemade kind of Etsy vibe. And partners role in the production process, they make a component, like exactly. You guys do the design, the important bit, we just provide the paper and packaging. So there you go, that is all you need to declare on Etsy with working with Printshrimp. It's completely by Etsy's rules and terms of service, as long as you fill out this box. So just make sure you do that, and then you're all covered. So this is everything you need to know about actually creating an Etsy account and then making it look pretty. Obviously, the most important part is actually uploading your products. We are going to delve very, very deep into that in the next video, go into all the SEO that you need to really make sure you rank as high as possible on Etsy and maximize your sales.